Now to see to the aftermath. Everyone gathered here, huh?
We did it! We actually did it! And the city's still standing?
My powers, they're draining. Just like Mizora said they would. A small price to pay in the grand scheme of things.
Fucking hell. It's over.
Against all odds, we cured ourselves. Free from the parasite. Free from the prospect of seromorphosis. I can hardly believe it. We will not become accursed Illithids. Not to cast any slight on you, of course. Your present form is but a sign of your gallantry.
Even when my time in the prism stretched out like eternity, when escape seemed impossible, I never lost hope. I knew that my destiny was to liberate my people, to return to them triumphant. I was wrong. It seems I can only fulfill one part of my destiny. My people will be liberated, but I cannot return to them. Not like this. You helped me destroy that abomination. Now help me destroy myself. You must kill me. But first, Lae'zel, I need your promise. Carry my hope. Carry my burden. Call my dragons, Kulos and Kuthos, and ride to the Astral Sea. Destroy Vlaakith. Release our people. Be our future and our legacy.
You should do this, Lae'zel. Your people need you.
It will be done. I will never be free while my people are still bound by Vlaakith's chains.
Enough talk. Give me my freedom. Freedom from this form.
You're a mind flayer, but you're still you, aren't you?
Yes. But for how long? My mind screams. It will never stop until it has slipped away from me entirely. I will not be Ghaik. I did what I did to save my people. The rest is up to them. Someone else must rise within the ranks to lead the revolution against Vlaakith. Give me my freedom from this form. Release my soul to the astral seas, while I still have one to call my own.
I'm actually curious to see how this one goes. You may not be able to return to your people, Orpheus, but you deserve to live to see their future. Yeah, I don't expect this to work, but I'll try it anyway. There are more important dice rolls than this.
You mean well, but you do not understand.
Very well.
Githka Tavkim crashed.
Before you become someone you're not, may you be free from this life.
Kulos! I can never forget you. Your name will be etched in our slates. You will be called Mlagir, Liberator!
Good luck.
To the skies!
And there go the rest of them.
Look, the Githyanki take flight.
With the Githyanki gone, there's nothing left but the silence of the city. Smoldering, waiting to be rebuilt. But it seems that Gale's mind is elsewhere.
Gale, please. This is not the time to be morosely lost in thought.
The crown. It's somewhere in the Giontha. If I salvage the stones, I can reforge it. The power of Karsus would be in my hands. But what then? What would I do with it once I have it?
Such power was not meant for mortals. Retrieve the crown and give it to Mystra, as she asked.
Sage and timely counsel as always. And I intend to heed it. A wise man learns from his mistakes and strives not to repeat them. I shall bring the crown to Mystra. She'll cure me of my affliction. And I'll finally be free.
Better yet, you'll be her chosen again.
And a more deserving one this time around. If this adventure has taught me anything, it's that there are things in this world far more valuable than power. Besides, I'm growing quite fond of this merry band of ours, and I'd quite like to see what happens to it. I'm sure Mystra will summon me soon enough, but until then, I propose we celebrate our victory the mortal way, with a drink in our hands and reckless abandon in our hearts.
I'm not sure about, drink in hand, but I think we've all earned some reckless abandon. How about you? Any thoughts on what's next?
A celebration sounds perfect.
Heroically spoken. We must find an inn. Minsk has been banned from his share of alehalls, but I am sure you and Boo can speak for me.
I honestly don't mind what we do once we get to the... Ow! What the... Oh, no. Oh, God. Well, it was nice when it lasted. Ah! I'm sorry. I have to go.
We will find you, Astarion, and Boo will bring a sunflower!
Welp.
We
Right.
did it, soldier. The city's going to be all right. And so are you. Engine's finally cooked. Held on just long enough. So, how'd I do?
You were spectacular in every way.
So are you. My friend. My companion. I adore you. Careful! Hot! I never gave up. I did my best. I did my best. the one thing I can't beat, isn't it? I wanted to live in my city with my friends. But life is for the living. And I saw God! Goodbye, son. Goodbye, sea. Goodbye.
No, stop. I won't allow this. Karlak, you're coming with me. Back to Avernus. We can't let her die. Not like this. Not now.
You can't.
Go, Karlak. Will be with you. You won't be alone anymore.
So, what do you say? Die here now, or live on with the blade of Avernus at your side. Zariel won't touch you. I swear it, Karlak.
Fine. I'll go. Well, with you. But we have to go now. I can't hang on much longer.
Yeah, pretty much. Would not be a bad time to say that my GPU had to spit up because of everything that was going on screen there. Apparently it didn't like all the particle effects.
It's over. And it's all because of you. You, who were destined to become a thrall. Thanks to you, there will be no Illithid empire, no death god's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the legends of the Sword Coast. You are the saviors of Baldur's Gate.
Oh, what this? Also, where's your... Why do you not have a pillow? Yeah, I should have seen that coming.
I was afraid for the briefest moment when I woke this morning. I didn't know where I was. I thought perhaps it had all been a dream, stopping the Absolute, saving my parents. Then I realized I was in your arms. We did it. Everything's perfect. Almost, anyway.
Almost. I can give it another try if you like.
I didn't mean it like that. After everything that happened. With my parents. With Shah. I didn't think I was owed any happiness. I did things. Things that fill me with shame now. There's at least one person who doesn't want me happy. Shah. I felt the wound last night. While you were sleeping. Like some sadistic child de-winging a fly. She can try to twist the knife all she likes. I know I can survive her worst. Nothing she does can sour the fact that I have my family again.
You deserve to be happy. All of you.
Thank you. Sometimes I have to remind myself of that very thing. It's nice to hear someone else say it. You and I... Our time together has been very dear to me. I had hoped maybe there might be more to come. It's not an exciting life that I lead, but I'd like you to be a part of it. I doubt I'd have anything at all if it wasn't for you.
I'd like nothing more.
Good. Then seek me out when you have time. I'm hoping to find some place I can settle down and stay close to my parents. Somewhere quiet, where they can find peace and gaze at the night sky. I'll keep a spot for you. It'll be just like old times.
Alrighty then. That is that. Is there any more to see to? What might this be? Oh, right. Avernus.
Well, soldier. Here we are. It worked. My engines calmed down.
Do I need to touch something? I don't want to mess with it, but is there something more to this?
I shouldn't have let you come here. This isn't going to be easy, you know. Zara's going to come at us with everything she's got.
Speaking of which, you freezing up again? Just in case.
Gods. Like clockwork. They'll be on us soon. But there's just enough time. Thought I was done with these. But then, there was you. Imps are fast, but careless. Don't let them tire you out. Just get rid of them. And don't forget, you asked for this. Better let these fuckers know I'm back. And this time, I'm not alone.
Off you go. You may want to draw your weapon, Will. Good luck, boys. Have fun storming the castle. You think it'll work? It'll take a miracle. Just in case there's... Oh, there it goes. Alright. So, credits or epilogue next?
You and Shadowheart found your peace in a country farmstead with a pack of pets and a garden of night orchids. You were basking beneath the silver moon after a midnight swim one night when you notice a letter among your discarded clothes. An invitation to a gathering of the friends and allies who stood by your side in the fight against the Absolute. You waste no time in packing and set off on the long road back to where all of your adventures together began.
You still have time for us? Oh, wait. This ought to be good.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight, fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon, wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
Well, first I have to talk to you, right? Oh hey, the owlbear.
Now
I cannot remember the last time I heard the ballad of the Endless Spring performed. Now there's a ditty worthy of a knee slap.
Looking for attention, Shah. Pathetic.
Alrighty, let's go talk to people.
I didn't expect to be nervous. But seeing everyone here like this, it's strange, isn't it? I feel like I must have dreamed the last few months. Now I'm waking up back in camp with my hair smelling like wood smoke and fallen leaves stuck to my backside.
I can pinch you if you're afraid this isn't real.
Save it for when we're alone.
What?
Anyway, I know it's real. I know we made it. I just wish I could go back in time and reassure the old me that it would all work out. But enough introspection. This is a party. I hope we won't seem terribly boring to everyone when they ask what we've been doing this past while. A cottage in the countryside. They may have been expecting something more. Well, more.
We're a couple. It's our duty to bore them to empty tears with details of our adorable home life.
True. They might even be jealous of the bucolic life. Perhaps every adventurer secretly pines for a little flower-strewn cottage overrun with animals.
When you put it like that, we could open a guest house.
Oh gods no, that sounds awful. They'd drag mud everywhere and eat us out of house and home. It's fine. Already passed. Shal must have sensed I was enjoying myself.
She should try it herself sometime.
She'd probably break out in hives. But enough about Shah and her petty barbs. We're here to see old friends and enjoy ourselves. So let's do just that.
Had to, right? Oh, where'd Volo go?
I feel better already.
Also, I need to turn up voice volume, apparently.
Have fun. Just don't wear yourself out too quickly. I'm anticipating a long night ahead of us.
Indeed. Hopefully hopefully there's a lot of things that aren't broken, but you know what? I have the edit button in this mode, so it should be fine. Huh. Voice volume is turned up all the way. Well, so be it.
Very well.
It's good to see you.
He looks coyly at the ground, suddenly shy.
What have you been up to since we last met?
He snaps the air and wiggles. He's either miming fighting a many-limbed creature or dancing. It's unclear. He is, however, exhausted. He's had plenty of adventures without you.
You look tired. Well, I think it's about time someone looked after you. How about with me and Shadowheart?
The joy in the owlbear's eyes is clear. He longs for a home and would love to stay with Shadowheart.
Well, I guess that's settled. How's Scratch doing? Wait, where'd Shadowheart go?
There's something strange in your old friend's mouth. What is it?
What have you got there, Scratch?
A familiar invitation. He wants you to throw the object he's dropped. But it isn't a ball. It's the astral prism.
Where the hell did you find this, boy?
He whines. Less talk, more throw.
I'm so glad Withers remembered to invite my favorite companion.
Scratch barks merrily in something like agreement.
Alright, come here. Can I actually pick it up? Yeah, it is on the ground. Oh. Get it, boy! Good boy. So, let's take a look around. Well, okay. So, Shadowheart's just wandering around then, huh? What are you doing, Will?
There
Well,
you are. I was hoping you'd make your way over. There you are, my friend. Breathe deep. Can you smell it?
I noticed the sense of sulfur. It's awful. Is that you?
By the good gods. How bad do I reek? Ugh, shit. Dried devil's blood. Stinks like a skunk squatting in an aboleth's corpse. No wonder. Karlach and I have felled enough Cambions to build a fortress with their horns. Who'd have thought that just one of those fiends held the key to escaping Avernus for good? One of them sported a map and some blueprints. If you want all the gory details, Karlach can fill you in.
How long have you been faring without your warlock powers?
I think the splinters I made out of the last bone devil I saw speak for themselves. Not to pat myself too hard on the back, but I'm not such a bad ranger if I do say so myself.
Not the worst career path. Have you had any time to visit your father?
I've seen him more than a few times, and he's as proud of me as I am of him. He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And he's back in his element, commanding the Flaming Fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's Chosen primed the Fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart.
So, taking the carrot approach instead of the stick? Giving them a chance to sign on rather than just, no, you're cast out, die. We're gonna continue being petty tyrants? Fair enough.
I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side. Well, that's enough hell talk for the moment. The night's young. You shouldn't go wasting it.
Indeed.
Or wasting any of the wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oh, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Clearly.
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post.
Uh-huh. Have you come seeking a statement for your next tell-all?
Oh, I wouldn't bother you with such things during a party. And anyway, I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
You can do better, can't you?
Oh, terribly sorry, but you mistake me, my friend. I'm only accepting complimentary feedback at this time. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation.
I'm
But you
sure.
mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
Alright, what else are people up to?
Well, now. You can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to.
I missed you too, Jaheira.
How nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers, all to restore the city exactly as it was. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers, same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon, same cisterns overflowing.
It's a kip, but it's our kip. I wouldn't change a thing.
Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three, but nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two, if they don't expel her. Again.
Again? All well and good, but what about you? I want to hear what you've been up to.
Honestly, much more sitting down than I'd like. Mistake me not. There is still much to be done. Plans to make, maps to be frowned over. But my children are more than capable of doing it. Even the young ones tire of me peeking over their shoulders. This night offers them a brief respite from me, at least. And this place, now I look at it, it is where you all spent your first night together, no? A fine spot for an adventure to begin. A fine spot indeed.
Do you have an adventure in mind?
Just a little wander, perhaps, to stretch the legs. I'll find my way back, as I always do. I admit defeat. Baldur's Gate is my home. But that is the thing about home. The only way to see it clearly is to leave and look back. For a little while, at least. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
Yeah, I'd probably prefer a simple life after all that.
Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
Is that a suggestion? Is that a suggestion, good ma'am? Who are you? I don't remember dealing with you. No matter. Professor, huh? Oakley. Well, one thing at a time, right? How are you doing?
A most welcome sight.
Little stiff. Must be a storm coming.
Dude.
For 2 months I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through Limbo.
Limbo,
I
jeez.
never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strained word, every barbed glance, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head.
Your efforts to top Vlaakith are well underway, then.
We've spilled blood, gained a foothold in the Astral, but still we need allies. And one beyond reckoning has made itself known. Zerith Minyaragith.
Zerith Minyaragith? What is that?
Not a what, but a who. The immortal god king of the Githzerai. An exiled people. Once kin with mine, until the madness of civil war ripped our one sky into 2.
Oh?
Argish sent word of the rebellion to Minyaragith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance.
Hold on. The great warrior Lae'zel on a diplomatic mission?
Exactly the reaction I expected.
Exactly.
My blade is keen as ever. But it was you who showed me that a proper victory doesn't always require a razor-sharp edge. Sometimes, a sincere plea is more persuasive than a dagger against the neck. Minyaragith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. And if he refuses, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction.
At least you're taking it well.
Comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces. My people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm.
Good luck, Lae'zel.
And to you, always. Now go, mingle a bit. That's the word, right? Mingle. But don't think you've seen the last of me. I'll be back. Sure as the comet will rise. Sure as Kalir will forever circle the sun.
Alright. All in due time, I suppose, then. So who all is in this direction, then? Alright, Gale.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in.
You!
Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance.
I see Mystra didn't smite you in the end.
She did not. I'm delighted to report. I surrendered the crown of Karsus to her, as I told you I would. And in return, she cured me of the orb at last. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. It was like exhaling for the first time after holding my breath for so very long. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a classroom. Too good, if anything. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils.
Go on then, convince me. Why is illusory magic so much fun?
Illusory magic has the power to confound the senses, to render the impossible into reality, and to allow expression of that most magical attribute of all: imagination. Had you the decades to spare, I think you'd prove quite adept at it, as you did in that first lesson I taught you. It was at that moment, the weave connecting us, that I realized how much your friendship had come to mean to me, as it still does. Teaching you was hardly an effort at all, not like my present cohort of apprentices.
They'll learn.
They try their best, of course, when they can manage to stay awake.
Cheek of them. Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
Oh, you're actually going to speak to us? Alright.
What of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
I found the love of my life. I'm saying pretty happy.
And I couldn't be happier for you. A fitting reward for the sacrifices you made in getting here. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'll be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you.
Of course. Perhaps the discipline of my oath will help them avoid the wayward paths of the less principled of your kind.
Well, I, for one, can't wait. And I say with some confidence, neither can they. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower. It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now, with time enough to come.
Indeed.
Your associates always been so ugly.
Tara! Never knew you to be cruel.
I said it to you, not them.
But I'm right here!
Oh, right. You. Hello.
You must be Tara. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm certain it is. As for you, well, I've heard congratulations are in order. You helped Mr. Dakarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right?
If that's what he told you, who am I to argue?
Well done. Despite my old friend's genius, he'd have blown himself up long ago if not for the help of friends like you and I. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able, if you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities.
I'd quite like that. Thanks for the invitation.
We'll send word by pigeon when we've need of you. I used to have a taste for them, but a great many things have changed in recent months.
What changed then?
Darling.
What do you go after now, sparrows? It's sparrows, isn't it? Wait, no, I'm already talking to you.
Well, look who decided to turn up.
Speak for yourself.
I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And you're looking more delicious than ever, if you don't mind me saying. Whatever you've been doing with your time, it clearly worked wonders.
I've been boring, living a quiet, peaceful life.
And fate let you get away with that. Not one improbable adventure landed on your doorstep. I'm impressed. But I'm glad to see the world has treated you well. You've earned it. We both have, in fact. And where better to celebrate our good fortune? An old haunt with old friends.
You seem happy. Have you been drinking?
Cheeky. I've been very well behaved, thank you.
Have you now?
I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero. It turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it.
Asterion, one of the good guys. Who would have thought?
Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been.
Do you ever miss walking in the sun?
I did at first. But then I realized. These shadows, this darkness, it's all a part of me. I spent too long defined by what other people did to me, the choices other people made for me. But that's over now. This is who I am. In all my glory, for better and for worse.
I'm glad to hear it. Acceptance looks good on you.
That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
Alrighty then. Never mind any noise you may hear in the background. A dude wanted attention. Alright, so who have I not spoken to? There's one.
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more.
Let me guess, just as nature intended?
Just as I hoped they would, more like. The Oak Father has been kind to me this past while. Yet I cannot forget the bond we all forged together. It is one that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day.
You sound like you need a hug.
I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place.
Alright, that's enough of that.
That was more than worth the wait.
I'm sure there'll be more where that came from.
Rest assured, my arms shall be ready. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing.
I could listen to you talk all day, but if you insist...
Please, spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see. My charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake.
I expect you'll have a few tales that will need to wait until they are older.
More than a few, I should think. At least I shall be equipped to explain the birds and the bees when the time comes. But I hope that time is quite a while off yet.
Had I known bedtime tales were a possibility, I'd have sought you out at camp.
You had asked to be tucked in next. But whatever the intrepid adventurer needed, I would have been glad to provide.
Alright, let me see what I have.
I am all ears. Though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image. You have kept yourself busy. I expected no less, in truth. I shall be able to keep the children enthralled for a few more nights yet, thanks to you. And should you wish to retell of your exploits in person, well, I shall not object to a night off.
I'm sure.
Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else.
Tell me how you've been faring. You wanted to form a new settlement, didn't you?
Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony, stronger together.
Sounds wonderful.
It is, truly. Though a more complex, evolving beast than I could ever have anticipated. I spoke often of balance before. Only now do I realize the balance is no simple, fixed thing. We welcome folk from all walks of life. Anyone who wishes for a new start. Naturally, it can be chaotic at times, but it is a thrilling sort of chaos. It thrives in ways I could never have dreamed of.
I'll need to see this place for myself.
You are welcome whenever you like, and for however long you please.
Tell me about Thaniel and Oliver. Do you see much of them?
Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many playmates to avail of, they are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned.
Still partial to roaming in bear form, I take it?
I spend half my days in ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon my back just days ago. I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oakfather's creations. But they must learn that not all are as amiable as I am. A lesson for another time, though. They deserve some joy. As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. Perhaps because I have found where I am meant to be.
Fair enough. You seem more subtle than I expected of you. I thought that was against your nature.
As did I, but somehow I feel like I no longer need to roam. That I have found something worthy laying roots for. Amazing what can be discovered about oneself, even at a ripe old age.
Indeed. What of the Grove? Do you stay in touch?
On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid now, and by all accounts, she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence.
Good luck. Alrighty then.
Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company.
It's lovely. Thank you.
Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak again later.
Alrighty then. Okay, who have I not spoken to yet? So... oh yeah, I need to find Karlak. Oh, there we are. Let's save Karlak for last, actually.
Ah, breathe deep, Boo! The smell of heroes sings from every stone in this place. Ah, to meet again where your journey began, my friend. An honor. For Minsk and his hamster both. Oh, and for Happy also.
Yes, honored, of course.
It's good to see you too, Minsk. Boo too. And Happy?
See how your very presence snatches the breath from his chest? And it is no wonder. It is just this day that Happy learned of your legend, while we gazed down upon the very city you saved.
He dangled me from the high hall, upside down, for 2 hours.
The guild should not go creeping in high places if they do not have the stomach for them, It is well for Happy the strange portal appeared when it did. Minsk's arm was growing aches.
You're still chasing after the guild? I thought you'd made peace with them.
So I have. Though it is a peace made more from blade and boot than it is any sense of brotherhood. 9 Fingers forbade any looting of the Illithid's fleshy vessels. And so Minsk guards what remains of the battle site. Even from her. But where Minsk might once have thrown any sneaking scoundrels from the tower top, now I tell them of you. How you ruled the wickedness within. How they might do the same.
Yes, I'll rule it. I'll be better.
I'm sure.
Oh, of course. It is still for Boo to decide if they live or die.
Oh God.
But enough, my friend. I cannot tell your tale if I do not know the whole of it. Minsk and Boo would know where you have been, what you have done.
Just living my life. Now I've found someone to live it with.
Aha, the lovebirds still nest together then? Minsk is glad. For what is life without a companion? Though I am thinking yours does not sit on your shoulders, eh? Ah, you are right, Boo. That is, none of Minsk's business. Now, Halfling, Boo will not have you embarrassing him in front of his friends. So you ought to know the rest of the company you keep. Will Ravengard, the Blade of Frontiers, Devil-Horned and Angel-Hearted.
We could be here a while.
Lae'zel of Creshkiller, true child of Gith, and true friend to Boo. Though she will and say it is not so. Astarion, who is banished by the sun itself for fear his Spanish soul might outshine it. We visit him much down in the dark places, though he often moves his lair without remembering to tell Minsk where.
And you still find it?
The man who would be a god, but then thought better of it. Boo thinks better of him for it too. Shadowheart. 2 gods dogged at her soul, but she managed to keep it all for herself in the end. Wait, Boo, did she do something with her hair?
You're just now noticing?
Halsin, Archdruid of Arch... somewhere. He is a much better man than he smells.
At least the writing's still good on this one.
The champion of the Hells herself. Karlach Demon's Bane, Devil's Bane, Merkul Ball and Bane, Bane. Once the guild is made of goodness once more, Bull shall scratch the hells wide open and find a way to bring her back. And finally, Jahira. If this is a name you do not already know, then not even Bull can save you. Study them well, sneak thief, for the best among them will be a guide for your guild. Heroes who put the city before themselves, who never falter in their duty. And more than this, who never arrive to a party without even a gift for the host.
But wait!
Oh boy.
Go, my friend. Be among our friends. There is much work yet to be done before this one is fit to join them.
14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Well, good luck, buddy. Except not really. Alrighty, so. And then look who ran off in this direction.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. He wasn't kidding. With us, you mad bastard! You brought me back! Soldier. It's really you. I've missed you, man. Like, I've really missed you. And you're so clean.
I've missed you too.
I'd say so. Can't think of who's been carrying your pack now that Kay's out of commission.
Me.
Man, we had some good times. Wish Will and I had more time to reminisce, but surviving Avernus is just non-stop. Still, having him there has been incredible. You really can get through anything with someone you love at your side. Oh, but hey, guess what we found? Cambion dropped a map with directions and blueprints for Zariel's own private forge. A fucking forge! Our current plan is to get in, grab a smith, and force him to fix old Rusty. Or maybe give me a brand new model that can live outside of Avernus. You haven't seen the last of old Karlach yet, soldier.
If anyone can survive Avernus twice, it's you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Keep a bottle of something good in the icebox for me, huh? Mama Kay's coming home before too long. Can I look you up when I'm out?
You had better, or I'll hunt you down myself.
Hey, that would be kind of fun, though. High stakes hide and seek. Honestly, I'd be curious to see if you could land a blow or two. Gods, is it good to see you again. To be here together. Hard not to get used to it all over again. This won't be the last time. I promise.
Alrighty then.
Barrels and crates for supplies.
Is there anyone else that I wished you were...
When we had to eat 14 apples, some
yeah.
fish heads, and a stale loaf of
So
bread.
let's see, is there anyone I've missed among all this? I believe that's everyone, though. Where's Withers hiding out then? Where is Withers hanging out?
Overindulged tonight, lest I lose control and slip into bear form.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, this... Wait, was this little corner always here? It's been so long I can't recall. A missive in Wither's hand addressed to some unknown entity. Though you understand the alphabet, the script, and the words themselves, the meaning eludes you. You glean only the impression of dark skin and white sky and an offer. Or perhaps a warning? Interesting. Whoa. Arcane cultivation. Curious that. I guess this is your new haunt, as it were?
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel?
I feel satisfied. I accomplished everything I wanted to do.
I am pleased to hear it. The satisfaction of one's intention is, to my surprise, a rare accomplishment. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much.
Well, I can always have the save if I want to come back and try different options, so we'll leave it there. I think I've caught up with everyone. What comes next?
What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen.
This ought to be good, whatever it is.
The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving.
To the greatest friends I could dream of.
To you.
Alright, there we are. And there we are. It's over. It's over. That took a while. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, given the circumstances. I may need to break this in half to some extent. Maybe leave all of the aftermath for a different video. But, either way, it is seen to, so... Interesting game over the course of this adventure. Oh. Unfortunately, I can't properly hear it right now because, well, my speakers are turned down fairly low and I can't exit out without ruining it, so I guess I'll just have to talk over and listen to it later. So, that in mind, interesting to look at, and it's been very interesting to see how people have responded to this game as well. Very different tact than the prior Baldur's Gate games, though unsurprising given the distance between them and the different hands at play. In some respects, there's a lot of improvement in that, hey, we're returning to a turn-based system where we're able to more easily just plot out what exactly we should be doing, and in theory, hold better to the system at hand as a result of that. Still, you do have all the problems with D&D in general, though, given the circumstances. The fact that you are able to, well, the fact that depending on what spells you bring in or what kind of cheese you throw at it, that you can end up with all sorts of, well, you can end up feeling like there's either a difficulty spike or just able to breeze through it depending on when you tackle stuff or what you bring to bears. So, in that sense, well, I suppose it doesn't matter too much when you have the quick save outside of honor mode, which, again, for the record, I don't intend to look at honor mode because, I mean, you saw that there was just the constant spinning wheel for quick saving over in the corner for this entire epilogue. So I'm sat here going, is the game really stable enough to where I could feel like I could risk it? And I don't feel that. So, it's not as if it crashed a whole lot, but I mean, you saw the errant swing that I accidentally took with Karlach against Gale in the final battle. Still managed to win off that save by technicality, even if I had to do a bit of cheese in order to get Karlach down and able to help us. And looking at the amount of damage I was inflicting, I probably could have managed once that I got even just me close. Because an extra 15 damage on every swing from... what was it? From Orpheus, and then throw haste on top of that, it wouldn't have mattered whether it was Karlach or my paladin. We would have been fine. And I don't know, I feel conflicted about the game in a sense, though, because there's a lot that really works, and there's a lot that you wish could have been better. Well, it could have been different. I don't know if better is necessarily the right word, but definitely different. Because it's actually kind of funny, because the first CRPG I end up playing that's not just an Infinity Engine game is Pillars of Eternity. And we go from an instance where the companions have basically no romance involved. It is purely platonic, purely focused on their characters as people. And then you go to this game where you indulge the romance or you don't get all that much necessarily. And then, well, you end up with a lot of polish in the first act because that was what they had in early access. And then as you go along, you end up with just a very different feel to each of the games. Well, each of the acts, as it were. Because you end up with something that's very tight with a lot of different variations in it with respect to Act 1. And then Act 3, by the time you reach Act 3, it's blown up to the point where, honestly, thinking back to it, I just got burned out. That's really what it boiled down to. I just got burned out. To where, what it boiled down to is, I just had to say, hey, take it offline, tackle it by the most important quest that you wish to see to, let the rest go. Explore that on your own time in private when you can hit the escape button, save, and just go on your merry way and leave it alone if it boils down to that. So, because of that, well, I suppose it worked out in the end since I did eventually finish it, and I do feel satisfied with the resolution, but I'm also looking at this. Actually, it's been almost when did it come out? August 2023, if memory serves. It's been almost 2 years since this game came out, and by the time this video is out, it probably, well, actually, it won't be quite 2 years, because I'm recording this in late March, so nearly, though. Only a few months shy of it. So, I don't know. Very interesting game to look at and think about. So, hopefully I'll be finished with the Pillars of Eternity video by the time this comes out, though probably not. Having to redo a substantial chunk of it, more than I expected anyway. Still, I guess then, since that I have a relatively decent sense for how things will go, since that this isn't, well, the Xenoblade stuff where it just drags on forever, I think I do have a good sense for how I want things to play out. Because I'm admittedly in a strange spot with respect to this channel right now, where this was posted, where I'm having to, well, I ended up attracting a very different audience from a video I made on a whim, and in continuing to pull on that thread, I decided to see, okay, is this a one-off, or should I keep pulling on the thread? And so I kept doing so, and suddenly I'm getting more attention, and I find myself ironically in the same situation that I was in back in, well, 10 years ago actually, because I've been doing YouTube for a long time just as a hobby, hoping to eventually make it a full-time career if I'd like, well, a full-time job, I guess. Career is probably a bit of an oversell, but still. Initially then I was thinking, okay, I want to do reviews on the other channel, and so let's move Let's Plays over here. And then something else takes off over here, so do I move them again? Do I just not worry about it anymore? Do I wait until I'm in a better spot as far as support on here and then make something, well, throw that into an editor and make something normie friendly where I can do Let's Play stuff? I don't know. I'm in a curious situation with respect to this channel, but, well, I guess we'll see how it ends up playing out. I know generally when this is going live, so by then, hopefully I'll be pretty far along with work on a video essay. But apart from that, well, I guess as far as game playthroughs, we've got the Xenoblade 2 stuff that's going to continue for a while. And with the completion of this, we're going to be returning to weekday streaming. So originally I was planning on doing this live as well, but looking at OBS, I've got 5 hours and 15 minutes about to go out. So yeah, no, it was a good idea for me to just tackle this starting on an afternoon and then just... I haven't even had dinner yet and it's 9:30. Oh man, it's been a day. It's been a week. I took care of Raphael 2 days ago and I still have Raphael's final act running through my head on loop. No, that fight was brutal. Interesting to think about, just... You never really know what kind of danger is being thrown at you, and so there was always that nervousness. And I think that's why I got burned out as well, that there's always... Also, when you're doing some kind of recording for this, there's also a sense that... Well, there's also a sense that there's a need to perform as well in order to be on point. So being able to hit the edit button certainly... Well, even if I'm not doing it a lot, certainly gives some measure of comfort, because then I can get up, stretch my legs, get some water, that sort of thing, whenever I have one of those moments. So, honestly, I will be keeping up the weekday streams, but I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for them. I mean, Xenoblade 3 will be moving to this day, and I'll be using Saturday for shorter games that are easier to tackle. I've already picked out the first one, and... Actually, depending on when I want to time things out, you'll either see it in 2 days or 9, actually. I wonder which I should do. I'm sure I'll have figured it out by then. Still, either way. I'm thinking that once I'm done with the managing mode run for Engage, though, I'll probably just not worry about doing offline recording like this for a while. Honestly, I'm thinking what might be amusing is, since that a lot of this is done in service for the review channel, there's a part of me that's thinking, okay, I've been cordoning off Tuesdays in order to knock out both this game and my managing run in Fire Emblem Engage. So, there's a part of me that's thinking, okay, I could reclaim that as a weekday stream. Or, after I finish with Engage, I am going to have, well, I'm going to be experimenting with my OS some more since I moved to Linux. I've been running out of, well, right now I'm running out of just straight Ubuntu for this as something a lot cleaner for the sake of testing, and it's worked out pretty well for this game, even if there may be an occasional bit of weirdness here and there, and maybe slightly less powerful due to the compatibility layer having to worry about stuff, but otherwise, I'd say it's done fairly well. Actually kind of funny. Palworld and Satisfactory, well, actually Palworld and Grim Dawn may actually work better in Linux than they do on Windows, or at least, though to be fair, it had been a while since I had played Palworld, so we'll see how it goes. Either way, I guess for now then, is there anything more that needs to be said? Well, I guess all that to say, once I do wrap up the Engage stuff as well, I'm thinking I just treat Tuesday as something where, actually I even have a game picked out where I just have something that is going to be mine, where I'm going to record it completely offline, make no reference to it at all, not even tell you what it is, not tell you a name, not tell you a genre, nothing until it hits the review channel. I'm not even going to mention it in any monthly update over on the review channel. I'm just going to say it is I'm not even going to say that I'm working on something. I think I'll want to go to that extent, honestly. Because I feel like I burned myself a bit by talking about Pillars of Eternity too much, since that, well, I've got that to look forward to. But, fortunately, by the time that I'm looking to try out another CRPG, I should have that sorted. I have a timetable in mind, although I had a timetable and then it moved again, so we'll see how long that takes. I'm expecting mid-June for the video to be ready, but I guess time will tell. I am having to redo a substantial amount of the audio, so we'll see. Either way, plenty to look forward to. Plenty to look forward to. So, I guess then, that's all that really needs to be said. Is there anything at the... Am I allowed to... Do I just let the credits play? Or do I keep talking? Let's hit the button. See what happens.
There thou art. The Dead Three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou soughtst to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools. Everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
Well then. I remember reading somewhere that he's actually the one who made the bargain for them to become the Dead Three, that he's the original god of death, but I guess that's confirmation as any. There we are. Alrighty. Next time you see something on this day, or any weekday really, it'll be Xenoblade. So till then, thank you all for stopping by, and next time we jump into a CRPG, well, probably after Xenoblade 3 wraps up, because I'm going to want something other than weep shit, but still, thank you all for joining me on this adventure, and whenever I see you next, well, I hope it's an entertaining one all the while. Take care.